Let me start with a moment that might feel familiar. You are in a design review and you have spent days refining the flow. The spacing feels intentional, the typography is balanced, the hierarchy makes sense. You walk the team through it very confidently. And then someone says, looks good, but how does this work on mobile? Or worse, they ask, have you considered the responsiveness here? Suddenly the energy in the room shifts. You realize that you only designed one screen and now you are explaining decisions you did not actually make. No one is angry or rude, but you leave the meeting feeling smaller than when you walked in. Do you struggle to comprehend industry jargons as an early career product or UX designer? If so, don't worry, you're exactly who this series is made for. I've compiled a full A to Z guide to product design terms to help you understand and use them confidently in your communication so that you can set clear expectations and show your value as a product designer. So far, we've covered letter A through Q, and today we are on letter R. And our word for today is, drumroll, responsive design. If you ever felt that moment of quiet panic around screen sizes, breakpoints, or devices, today's video is for you. What is responsive design? Responsive design ensures websites and apps automatically adapt their layout and content to different screen sizes and device capabilities. Let's ground that in reality. A product might look great on desktop, clean layout, comfortable spacing, everything visible at once. And then the same product opens up on a phone and suddenly the text feels too cramped. Buttons are harder to tap. Important actions fall below the fold. Although nothing is technically broken, but the experience becomes harder than it should be. That's usually when a design is made to shrink and not to adapt. Responsive design is the intentional approach to making sure a product responds to the space it is given. The layout adjusts, content reflows, hierarchy stays clear, and most importantly, users can still accomplish their goals regardless of device. If you want a plain language version you can remember in meetings, here it is. Responsive design is about making sure the same product works well across different screen sizes without breaking usability. That is the definition product teams care about. Now, here is the important part that early career designers often miss. Responsive design is not just a visual concept. It's not just about resizing frames in Figma. It's a product decision. And let's talk about why that matters. Why responsive design matters. Responsive design matters because users do not experience your product in a vacuum. They use it while commuting, on old phones, on slow connections, on giant monitors at work, and on laptops balanced on couches. When responsiveness is ignored, three things happen. First, usability breaks. Buttons become too small, text becomes unreadable, critical actions get buried. Second, trust erodes. A product that feels clumsy on one device feels unfinished everywhere. And third, teams pay for it later. Engineering has to patch layout, design has to retrofit decisions, roadmaps get delayed because responsive issues suddenly become bugs. From a career perspective, responsiveness is one of those quiet signals. Designers who think about it early are seen as thoughtful, product-minded, and easy to collaborate with. Designers who ignore it often get labeled as visual only, even when that's not true. How product teams use the STEM. Here's how responsive design shows up in real product teams. It comes up in planning conversation. You might hear things like, are we designing mobile first or desktop first? Which breakout points are in scope to release? Or do we need a separate mobile experience or a responsive one? It comes up in design reviews. What collapses first at smaller scale? What is the priority content on mobile? Or does these interactions still make sense on touch? And it comes up in engineering handoff. What is flexible versus fixed? Are these components responsive or adaptive? Or what happens when content is longer than expected? You will notice something. Teams are already asking, can you resize the stream? They're asking questions about behavior, priority, and constraint. That is product thinking. If responsive design still feels fuzzy, That's okay. Let's break it down into practical models teams actually use. Responsive versus adaptive design. Responsive design means layouts fluidly adjust across screen sizes. Adaptive design means you design distinct layouts for specific breakpoint. In practice, responsive is flexible while adaptive is conditional. Most modern products use a hybrid of both. When teams say responsive, they usually mean we are not designing separate products, but we are being intentional about how layouts change. Mobile first versus desktop first. Mobile first does not mean mobile only. It means starting with the smallest screen. To clarify priorities, a scenario way to think about it isn't which one do I prefer. It is more like which context matters most for our users right now. That framing signals maturity. Here's why many early career designers get stuck. They think responsive design is about delivering more work. It is actually about making fewer, clearer decisions. Why responsive design mattered? Here's why responsive design actually mattered. When an interface works well on one device but becomes frustrating on another, users feel it immediately. They abandon tasks, they lose patience, and they start forming negative impressions of your product. Not because they are difficult, but because the experience isn't meeting them where they are. And as mobile usage keeps growing, the cost of ignoring responsiveness compounds. You lose users who prefer mobile, you miss chances to engage people in different contexts, and you fall behind products that simply work everywhere. Effective responsive design fixes that. It creates consistency across devices. It removes friction from key actions. It lets users focus on their goal and not the interface. At its core, responsive design is about respecting how people actually see your product. Responsive design is about respect. Put some respect on the name. Where the designer fits. As an early career designer, your role is not to solve everything. Your role is to surface the right questions early. Design with intent, not completeness. Label your decision. Ask product-level questions. This is how responsive design becomes a strategy. Once the basics are in place, responsive design starts to mature. It goes beyond screen sizes. Teams begin thinking about how experiences adapt to device capability, network conditions, and user preferences. This is where ideas like progressive enhancement comes in, designing a solid core experience first, then layering on features when the device and context allow. You also hear more about component-based responsiveness. Instead of reacting only to the size of the screen, individual components adapt to the space that they live in. That makes systems more flexible and easier to scale. And then there's the detail work. Typography that stays readable everywhere. Touch targets that work just as well on fingers as they do with a mouse. Micro interactions that feel intentional across devices. Even loading behavior become part of the conversation. Delivering the right content at the right time for the right context. You don't need to master all of this as an early career designer, but understanding where responsive design goes helps you see why teams treat it as more than a layout problem. There you go. That's all for today. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. It helps more designers like yourself discover the series. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next letter in the A to Z of product design. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.